Just remember that this is the most archaic piece of technology that your kids will ever touch. That's the kind of thinking that we as decision makers, we've got to think like that.
The majority of kids at some point are going to be working technology-related areas. I don't know of many occupations anymore that don't require technology in order for you to do your job.
Preparing our children for today's global economy is hinged on the educational tool of internet technology. But we may be lagging behind when it comes to access and quantity throughout the state.
What used to be a lot of bandwidth really isn't enough bandwidth anymore.
I truly believe that rural Wisconsin is facing a much more daunting task of transforming their learning environments to the 21st century model because of some of the issues that they have with the lack of adequate broadband.
Access to broadband internet is essential to closing the digital divide many students now face after leaving high school.
A bandwidth investment is an investment in the future of the state. It's an investment in education for all students.
We could do so much better with digital learning. We can make it much more efficient, get the best quality people connected with students, and it can be done on the web.
I would love to see every student have 24/7 access available to them, and to have teachers guiding them through understanding how to balance that in a real way for their life, and to start to learn how to take this onslaught of media, technology, linking, all of these things, and use them in a way that helps them to grow up to be productive members of our society and be career and college ready.
But learning goes beyond the hours spent at school. Students applying their knowledge outside the classroom will often face the challenge of local bandwidth limitations.
The biggest problem we have in our community is that families, even if they wanted broadband, cannot get it because we don't have it built out in the community.
We have to remember that some people aren't comfortable in that digital world. And the student comes from one place and the parent comes from another place. But when they come together, I think it's pretty powerful, and I think things will change. Once you start to see the possibilities, not just for your child, but how could I implement this in my life? How could this make my job better? How could this add to my social life? I think they start getting the picture.
Connecting our schools and communities with the broadband service they need is within reach. But it starts with local and state leaders working with internet providers from the ground up.
The demand side is going to escalate rapidly in the next 5 years. Anybody who's going to ever access the internet with a broadband connection is at stake here.
This is an infrastructure, a public infrastructure that's as important as the highways. FedEx doesn't own their own highway. UPS doesn't own their own highway. I don't own my own highway, but we all pay our fair share to own that together. I think that broadband access from a 21st century perspective is as important as that.
It's not about politics. It's not even about the cost. We have to have this.